Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the At Home with Charlene show every Thursday from 2 to 3 live on KHTS 1220 and 98.1 FM. We are having a great afternoon. I'm really, really excited about this show. I think we're going to bring a lot of vital information to you today. And I think it's going to provide a lot of information for those who do a lot of service for us in our community. But first and foremost, a lot of kids have the last day of school today, including my daughter.
I'm sure they're jumping up and down right now and going, yay!
Oh, yeah. And I'm excited, too, because as we were just talking, no more homework help, no more help memorizing things for tests. So I put it on my Facebook earlier. I don't know who's happier, my daughter or me. Maybe we're equally as happy. And I'm sure there's a lot of other parents listening that are picking up their kids and out doing...
It's a toss-up.
Doing lunches today and special things since it's the last day of school. So good luck to all those kids. And I'm sure they did an amazing job this year. I know my daughter did too. My special guest today, Sam Silver with HomeSmart. And I am so happy to help share some of the involvement he has in the community and what he does. And we sat down for a coffee a few weeks ago and talked a little bit about, how he helps in the community and what he does. And I just thought, how fitting for my Thursday show following Memorial Day that we talk about all the work that veterans and local first responders do for us in our community, and definitely want to get the message out on what you do, how you do it, and how we can help benefit all of those who work in our community and give countless days and hours of their time to help everybody else. So I'm welcoming my guest, Sam Silver, and I'm happy to have you today.
I appreciate it. I appreciate being here, and I'm thankful for being able to get the word out. It's an amazing opportunity. I'm so thankful.
So one question that I had for you was how did you get involved in Homes for Heroes? How did it come about? What got you started? Did you serve? Were you a veteran? What led you down the path of wanting to help other veterans and other first responders?
Yes, I am a veteran, and I did serve. About 2 years ago, I was looking for something. I was out of the real estate business for a little while, and I went back to school and I educated myself. So then I'm a educated realtor, so that's a good thing.
That is an excellent thing in our business.
So I was looking for something, and I don't know if it's divine intervention or what. And I was looking on one of the social media platforms, and it jumped and bit me in the nose. It's like, oh my God, Homes for Heroes. And I said, wow, what an opportunity to be able to give back, do what I love, real estate, and thank those that do stuff for us every day.
And as a veteran, you know what stakes are at place when you serve.
Yes.
And what families go through when you are across seas, or you're, in a war situation, or you're off and your family has to learn how to be without you.
Yes.
I just think that takes a lot of courage, and we're very grateful for for you and all those people who definitely put their lives on the line to help all of us and to keep us all safe. As a veteran, you probably had a heart into this, thinking, how can I help other people?
Yes.
And how can somebody benefit from what I do?
Absolutely.
So give us an example of how you would help a veteran and how you would walk them through this process.
Well, basically, many veterans don't know that they're eligible for a VA loan, and it's sad. Basically, I would walk them through. First of all, they need something called a DD-214, which is their discharge from the military, and I would want to see if they have a DD-214 or a DD-254. DD-254, they don't qualify for the VA loan, unfortunately, but a DD-214, they do. Many times DD-254 is a reserves. You have to have served 90 days consecutively as active duty in order to qualify for a VA loan,
Right.
as you know.
And on the lending side, the good news is if you do have a DD-214 form, which is your
Yes.
release paperwork,
Hmm.
it's very easy for us to order your certificate of eligibility to see if you're eligible for those benefits.
Yes.
So it's a simple, we put some information into the internet, and within usually instantly or within 24 hours, we can get notification that the certificate of eligibility is there. We can see what type of benefits you qualify for, if you've used your benefits previously. But people should know if they've served, utilize these benefits. Because
It,
another great
it's a great savings.
and a VA loan is probably one of your only loans that will give you 100% financing
Yes, that's
without a
true.
down payment. And I just think it's a great loan. You don't have a monthly mortgage insurance premium. You have the upfront mortgage insurance that's financed into the loan
That's
portion,
true.
but it's a great loan. I love doing VA loans and helping veterans when I get the opportunity to do that. And if you've served, look and see if you have your DD 214 and you've been released from service and you can utilize that benefit.
It's your right. It's your right to have that as your benefit. You know, you serve the country. Why shouldn't they serve you?
I definitely agree with that. And not only does this program help our veterans, but who are some other professionals that this program will help benefit as well?
Well, your medical professionals also, your firefighters, your law enforcement, and it's veterans, active, and retired. So all those people that you see every day that are out there. Sometimes you don't want to see them in your back window when you're doing something wrong, but you know you did something wrong. But their lives are on the line every day, and it's just a thank you.
And I have a couple friends that I have on Facebook that are nurses, and I just see the amount of hours they put in. And I know for the most part, there's probably a lot of families who are very appreciative of all their work, but I know that there's probably a lot of patients and families who are very demanding or maybe more difficult to work with. And, they put in a lot of hours, selfless hours
Yes, they
as a
do.
nurse. And I just think that that's a job that is very God given because not everybody can fulfill that job. I would not be able to fulfill that job myself.
My wife's a nurse, and actually another reason why I got into Homes for Heroes is our babies were 211, 215 when they were born. They were just like each probably fit in one of
Tiny.
my hands. And the NICU nurses, oh my gosh, they were absolutely amazing. They were angels. And there were some times that you didn't know if you were going to come out with your children. And it was,
I mean, that's a
it was
good way to
touchy.
put it because my dad was sick for a majority of my upbringing in my life. And we had many hospital stays. And I would think if it wasn't for those nurses helping my mom get through some of those tough times and helping our family get through those tough times, that, it would have been a very big struggle. And I think they have such a caring heart that leads them to be great at those jobs.
It takes a specific type of person to be a nurse and to be giving like that. Any of your people in the community, it takes a specific type of person to be able to give back every day.
And your firefighters too, because we had a very close we have a close friend of ours that's a firefighter and was in it for 20 to 30 years before he retired, and he said a majority of his work, 90% of his job would be EMT work,
Yes,
right?
that's
Before,
true.
and I mean, there's probably 10% of the time that they actually go out and fight fires. However, when those fires do come, they are gone for days on end. They are not sleeping. They are out there and they're working and they're protecting and they're serving in our community. So, I mean, just as much as anybody else, they're out there doing what we probably couldn't do either.
That's true. They go into a situation that most people would have run out of. And that's their job. Every day they go into those situations where most people wouldn't have the guts to do it. And they do it openly and they know what they're doing and they go to school for it and they get extra training when things happen. I have actually the last couple were firefighters that I helped, and let's see, Brandon, Brandon's out in Alaska right now, but kudos, Brandon, for all that you do in Kern County, and I'll give Sal a attaboy for what he does in LA County as well. So those are a couple of the firefighters I've helped. Recently I helped CHP sell and buy, and I got a little check over here. I'll show you that later if we have time.
And a lot of these people don't know that they qualify for these types of programs. That's why I found it so fitting that when we had our conversation, I said people need to know about it, and they need to share with their family. Tons of husbands are police officers and firefighters, and women for that matter too, but they don't know that a lot of these programs exist, or that programs have been put into place for them to be able to utilize.
Yes, that's true. Absolutely. Yeah. These programs are out there. There's a lot of loan programs for law enforcement and first responders as well. So, and as you know, let's see, there's so many of them out there giving back, and it's exciting for me, and I feel honored to be able to give back to them for what they do.
So the Home for Heroes, how did it originate? How did you come about it? How did this particular program get established?
After 9/11, a brokerage in Minnesota created the Homes for Heroes program. One of the founders was trying to figure out a way to give back to those that were in 9/11. And it was all your first responders and also teachers. Because if you take a look, especially recently, I mean, you take a look at the news, and it's scary to send your kids to school right now. Those teachers are first line of defense to protect our kids when they're in school. So teachers are heroes as well. I mean, I consider them heroes because they put up our kids all day long.
But they have a classroom full, because when they come home to us, we might have one, 2, 3, 4 in some cases.
Exactly.
I mean, but these teachers
60.
have classrooms full of all kinds of personalities and learning capabilities. Some are a quick learner, some are a little bit slower learner, and even when you have a classroom where you have a little bit more of assistance that's needed, I mean, they have the patience of a saint.
The special needs community is actually growing in the Santa Clarita Valley, and Santa Clarita has some of the best programs for special needs. And actually, a lot of people move here
for those programs
from other states, because we have what's called the Lanterman Act, and that was created by the Kennedy family. Eunice Kennedy was an angel. She started the Special Olympics program. And then in California, it's like if a child has a diagnosis, it's cradle to grave, that they have to be taken care of.
And the Special Olympics program's amazing. I volunteered for that for 1 year on the track and field, and brought my daughter with me, and she was probably 5th or 6th grade at that time. And I brought her with because I wanted her to help, and I wanted her to assist, and I wanted her to see that we have to give back. And I just saw them all thriving. Because
they love it.
It was different ages. It's all different ages, and they live in care facilities together and of different magnitudes. But just to see how happy they would be to achieve something, or for us to be cheering them on, was a very rewarding experience.
It's pretty emotional too. I mean, you take a look at like the World Games. I unfortunately didn't have the opportunity to go, but my niece has Downs, so she had gone to the World Games, and it's like they were trading pins from all over the world, and it's like people that have special needs. I don't know, everyone in the community, you see people with special needs, treat them with respect, treat them with love, take care of each other, because there's a lot of them out there and they're misunderstood. My daughter has autism, so I know sometimes she's a little misunderstood, but I love her. Sydney, love you.
And I think we have to let our kids know that everybody's different. And I always told my daughter that there's one thing that I just don't tolerate, and it's bullying.
Yes.
I just think it's hard enough for kids to exist as it is, with all the peer pressures and with all of the trying to fit in, and so-and-so has this and so-and-so has that, and how come so-and-so gets to do all these things and maybe this person doesn't. But when it comes down to it, we just need to be kind.
Yeah.
And I've raised my daughter like that. Just, you have to be nice and kind. And is she all the time? No. And are we all the time? No. But for the most part, we try to project that, and we want to project that because we want to keep the kids safe, and we want to keep them inspired, and we want to keep them loved, and to know that, they can excel.
Absolutely.
There's nothing worse than a kid not feeling loved and having the ability to excel at all ranges of capacity, I feel.
Well, everyone wants to be loved. Everyone wants to be loved, whether they have special needs or they don't. Be good to each other. Be nice to each other.
Yeah, and I just think everybody, our teachers, our firefighters, our police officers, our veterans, and they just play such a huge role in our community. Keeping us safe, and when we're sick, they're the first people we call. Something's going on at the house, and you feel like you're being robbed or whatever it may be. I mean, that's where we go to. We don't realize how often we go to them.
We do, and pull over to the side of the road when you see them. It doesn't matter which side of the road you are. I have a problem with that when somebody doesn't pull over and just stops. It's like, come on.
And we laugh about it, but I have a window that faces Valencia Boulevard at my office, and I can see our first responders coming up and down Valencia Boulevard all day. And I just see so many times that they're on their microphones telling them to get over. And I just thought, I remember taking my driver's test, and that was on there. Veer to the right for your first responders. And I'm thinking, is that not in the test anymore? Was that being overlooked? Did we not see that part?
If you have a book, open it up and see if it's in the book.
Right. So let's do all of our first responders a favor. If you see them on the road, let's pull over, let them through, because a life could be at stake, and that could be you at some point, and you would want that in turn for yourself too. We're going to take a quick break. Don't go away. We have so much information to share. I'm so happy to have my guest Sam Silver with me, so stay tuned.
Weekends are now exciting in Santa Clarita as Persia Hookah Lounge hosts its House of Entertainment every weekend night from 8 to 11. Thursdays feature a DJ on the hookah patio. Stop by Fridays for performances by Belly Dancer of the Universe winner Jasmina, or Saturdays to hear great local live bands. Persia Lounge also caters for both homes and businesses, starting as low as $8. Discover Persia Hookah Lounge on Main Street, where it's all happening in Old Town Newhall. Persia-lounge.com.
Something big is coming to Castaic.
Is it a dinosaur, Bob?
No, Blanche.
Is it the 2020 Olympics?
No.
I know. We're finally hosting the World Cup.
No, silly. They're building Castaic High.
Bob, no way.
Go visit CastaicHighProject.com. You'll get all the latest details.
What's that web address again, Bob?
CastaicHighProject.com.
Again?
CastaicHighProject.com.
Bigger than a dinosaur?
That's right. CastaicHighProject.com.
Every day after school, children and teens in our community are alone without academic support, access to healthy food and activities, or adults to guide them. With your support, we can provide our youth a second home, support their academic success, and build leaders. Join us Saturday, June 2nd at All That Glitters is Gold, the Boys and Girls Club of Santa Clarita Valley's annual benefit auction. Visit scvbgc.org or call us at 661-254-CLUB to purchase your tickets.
Diamond Rio brings their musical magic to the Santa Clarita Performing Arts Center on Saturday, June 30th. KHTS is proud to present Diamond Rio, 6-time Country Vocal Group of the Year, 23 top 10 hits. Experience Grammy Award winners Diamond Rio like you've never seen them before, right here in our hometown at the Santa Clarita Performing Arts Center. country legends Diamond Rio, and featuring our one and only local singing sensation, Savannah Burrows.
Bring on the rain, don't be afraid to let it pour.
Savannah Burrows and Diamond Rio, together at the Santa Clarita Performing Arts Center, Saturday, June 30th.
One more day.
Tickets are going fast. Visit canyonspac.com to purchase yours. canyonspac.com for Diamond Rio.
Santa Clarita's premier senior living community, Oakmont of Santa Clarita, is leasing, bringing comfort and luxury to assisted living. Seniors can enjoy 5-star amenities, panoramic views, easy access to the freeways, and nearby shopping centers in a world-class community that provides an advanced continuum of care. No other community has this kind of luxury and amenities in our valley. You'll find good health, vitality, and purpose at Oakmont of Santa Clarita. Stop by for a tour. Visit oakmontofsantaclarita.com.
Buying your home can sometimes be challenging. That's why Charlene Gill with CSMC Mortgage is your Santa Clarita mortgage expert. What's important to you is to secure a loan at the best possible rate, to have a professional guide you through the process, and to close on time. Charlene's 23 years in the mortgage industry and her personal expert knowledge in the Santa Clarita Valley makes her your mortgage expert. Contact Charlene at hometownstation.com/Charlene. That's hometownstation.com/Charlene.
Welcome back, everyone. You've been listening to the At Home with Charlene show live Thursdays from 2 to 3 on KHTS 1220 and 98.1, your hometown station. And Sam just told me he won some tickets on the KHTS call-in this morning.
I did.
What tickets did you win?
Diamond Rio.
I was like, wow, good for you. He's going to be going to that concert out here. That's awesome. So those of you just joining us, I'm here with Sam Silver with HomeSmart, and he works with Home for Heroes, and that is providing heroes with the real estate experience as far as veterans, first responders, firefighters, nurses, teachers, anybody who is working in our community for the most part and giving back to all of us. And it's been a pleasure having Sam with us today, and so knowledgeable. And we were just talking about, the organization was established based on 9/11. And those of you listening who were old enough to go through that experience and remember it was very devastating. And probably one of the most devastating things I can think of in my time as far as something that has happened here. And sometimes you go through a situation like that, great things are formed. And Homes for Heroes just happens to be one of those organizations that was formed based on that. I remember I had a client, I was sharing this with Sam before we came in for the show, and this was a few years back, and I was going to meet with her for the first time, and I walked into her apartment, and she had a memorial that was up on her wall, and I had commented on what a beautiful picture that was. And she had told me that was a picture of her son that died in 9/11. And I told her, I gave her my condolences, and I said, I am so sorry. And she said he was in one of the planes.
Oh my goodness.
That crashed into those towers. And I've never come across somebody that, I personally knew or had any involvement in that. So for me, I was a little bit taken back, and she had become a friend of mine from there because I was so determined to figure out how I was going to help her and her family. And that's just how things go. But you just want to help those people.
Yeah, you have a passion to do it.
And I think when, like you, who've served, and you're a veteran yourself, it makes it that much more of a priority for you to give back to, those who served as well, or who are currently serving.
Yes, it is a passion. It's a passion. It's a goal. It's something that it's in your heart. It really is. And a lot of the people that join the Homes for Heroes organization have the same passion. I mean, there's actually quite a few of us that do it out in Santa Clarita Valley. I'm just one of them. But it's a passion that they have in their heart. So some of them are prior military, some of them are police officers, some of them are nurses. Some of them just have a brush with those heroes, and it's just something that, You really have to have a passion, because it's a decent amount of money that you're giving back as a realtor.
Right.
So 25% of my side of a transaction, my gross, is, say what, 550,000 is the average in Santa Clarita Valley.
Right.
That's like $3,800.
And that is great for our veteran and those who give their all in our community. And that's selfless of you, because I feel like it's a passion for you to be able to give back and to be able to help all these people who have helped us in one way or another. I can't think of all of the doctors and nurses and everything who is directly helped my family over the years and who continue to help my family over the years. And if it wasn't for them, I don't think we would have, had my dad as long as we had, and other family members for that matter. And so for me, it's something that I'm very compassionate about as well, being somebody who's gone through that. And I just think it's so awarding.
It is. It really is. When you're looking at a family and you know what they do, and at the end you're able to hand them the big check, and it's like it's awesome. It's more than what you get paid.
So not only do you actually give back to the veteran or the first responder, but you are also putting in a portion for the overall cause.
It's called the Homes for Heroes Foundation, and it's set up to help those heroes with, it could be staying in an apartment, it could be security deposit, it could be saving their homes. It goes into a pool across the country, and 5% of my gross comes back. So I give 25% back to the hero, and then 5% back to Homes for Heroes Foundation. So if anyone's out there needs some assistance, go to homesforheroesfoundation.org. And if you really need help.
And what would be some examples if somebody's listening right now and they're thinking, hey, I might be that family that is in dire need or could use some assistance? What type of things do they do?
Well, they've helped people stay in their apartments. I mean, if they say they're coming out of the military and they don't have the money for security deposit, they've covered that. Actually, if you go on that website, it actually shows a list of some things that Homes for Heroes Foundation has done to give back to the heroes, to help heroes out when they need it.
And I think that's so great. Because I know that, we've spoke about this before, that you can have veterans who've served, and maybe they've served 1, 2, 3 times, and maybe they've actually gone to war or Iraq or recent situations. But when they come back, they're suffering from PTSD. And that is not something that just goes away.
It doesn't. As a matter of fact, I recently lost a friend of mine from high school. And the things that he went through, were more powerful than care and the love that he had at home. So, unfortunately, he's not here anymore.
And your friend alone, not your friend alone, but there's so many that come back who are suffering, and the exposure that they have to things that we will never be exposed to.
We can't fathom. We can't fathom what they went through. The closest you could probably fathom is probably like what we went through in Vegas. The people that were there were probably the closest to a war zone. So excuse me.
I think more so than ever, we really have to stand together. And we really have to all unite together, because as a group, we're going to be more powerful than we are individually. And, we can overcome some of these situations by coming together, by supporting one another, and
symbiosis.
Yeah.
Connect.
And giving where we can, and just providing that support, because you never know, you want to help as much as you can. And in turn, all the help that's put out there, kind of comes back.
Yeah, it's giving back. It's paying it forward. If we would look at what we're going through in our environment right now, pay it forward. If you pay it forward, you never know who you're going to help. You never know when it's going to come back to you. Give with a good heart. Give with an open heart. Don't expect anything to come back to you, but it generally does.
I agree with that statement too, because I think if you wake up every day and you think I'm going to give the best I can and I'm going to be the best that I can be, and and I'm sure all of our veterans and first responders are thinking, I've got a country at stake. I've got, if they're called to an accident, I've got lives to save. And I'm not put in that position. I'm just put in a position to help with services in a community type environment, but that is on such a larger stake that I mean, just the things that they see and go through, they should tenfold be taken care of.
They should, absolutely. Our community people and our heroes absolutely should be taken care of, and there should be more things done for our veterans. I'm part of a group called SCV vet.org. And we're trying to get the word out to our soldiers and our veterans that this is a resource for them if they're suffering from PTSD, if they need to get a job, if they need training. We have like about 60 different companies that are part of this group that I go to it's like third Friday of every month. It's someplace that can connect. They're more than welcome to come and see what we're doing. And I know we've advertised in our local paper, but people that are listening right now, if you know a veteran suffering, if you know a veteran's family that is suffering, which is even more important, because the family that's around the veteran is the one that sees what's going on. And those are the people that need to step up and say, okay,
we need help.
This needs to be done.
And you have those resources for them.
Yes. And
we also have, there's just a few requirements for them to actually meet and receive the hero reward. Mm-hmm. One is be a hero. Mm-hmm. 2 would be to register on homesforheroes.com.
Even better, just go to samsheroes.com. That's probably the best way to go.
That's an easy one.
Yes.
samsheroes.com, and register with Sam so that he can assist you with the purchase and with being able to get, what do you call it?
Hero rewards.
A hero reward for everything that you do. So again, be a hero, register with samheroes.com, and you're going to go through the process of getting pre-approved. You're going to go through the process of, you walking through the process. You might be a first-time home buyer. All of that is an easy situation to handle. We just walk you through that process. And there's so many different programs that are available.
Tell me about those.
For doctors, like, for example, there's a lot of loan programs if your student loans are deferred or in some type of forbearance for the last 12 months. There's some great programs specifically for doctors and for just getting into, maybe you just got on the job. Maybe you just accepted a contract. So there's loans for them.
That's
great. And there's let's see, for example, I just want to review so I can let everybody know that's listening. Doctors, nurses, teachers, even all the way down to your medical resident, doctors of optometry, so there's so many different benefits that our loans can provide and give assistance to. So there's definitely a lot of resources on the real estate side and on the lending side. And just to give you an example, doctors, dentists, some veterinarians, I mean, some of these are considered in our loan programs as well, as far as, Most of these professions, you're establishing a good amount of student loans.
Yes, you do.
The medical profession, anything along those lines, all the medical school that you're going through, you're going to acquire a good amount of debt doing that. So all of these programs are going to take that into consideration. So we can definitely help assist with that as well.
That's fantastic.
And, I always like to include some statistics as far as our real estate market, where we're at, some numbers so everyone kind of gauge where the market is and where they should be as far as buying and selling. And today I looked up in the last 7 days, new listings from today and 7 days back. We had 78 new listings.
Okay.
New closings in the last 7 days, we had 72. So right now we are almost as many listings as we get, we have sold.
Yes, we need listings.
So
if
our,
you're looking, if
our
you're listening,
inventory is still minimal because we're just replenishing what is leaving on a weekly basis. Days on market. So when you list your property and it goes into an open escrow, that's usually 15 days. That's been the average from the start of the year up into year to date. But for the month of May, we are now 11 days on market.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Before we hit escrow. So we want to let you guys know, and we let everybody know on our last show too, that prepare. So when you do list your home, be prepared for a quick sale, and it will or could be sooner than 11 days, depending on how you're priced, your location, and the need for that particular price point could move even faster.
And condition. Just remember, the way somebody looks at your house is the way you look at a house. When you're going to buy a house, think about, would you buy your house in the condition it's in?
Right.
Or would you say, oh, let's go down the block and see if there's something a little nicer? So if you take the goggles off that this is my house and I'm in love with my house, take the emotional out of it and say, would I buy my house again?
And that's the hardest part. Those of us that are in the industry know that, it's an emotional detachment that you have to make when you're looking at your own personal property, because you have to look at what they're looking at.
Yes.
And the more that they're writing off in their mental checklist that has to be done, the more they're moving away from that purchase. And if they're walking in going, oh, this is great. Oh, that looks great. Everything looks great. We're good. So year to date, we've had 1,338 closed listings.
Wow.
I would say in a really great market, we would probably have 1,000 listings a month.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So if we've closed 1,338 closed listings year to date, that's 5 months of activity. It's just letting everybody know that we're limited on our market. So of those 1,338 closed transactions, 17% were VA. 17% was FHA.
Yes.
5% was VA. 11% was cash. 66% was conventional. And then we have a few other, loans assumed or a CalVet or whatever it may be, ones and twos here and there. But what that's telling me is 66% of the market is doing conventional financing. You have to have a better score for conventional loans.
Yes,
you have to have 3, 5, 10, 20% down for those types of loans.
Yes.
And you have lower qualifying ratios than you do for an FHA loan or some of the other loans. So that's leading me to believe that there is money that people have to put down, and they have relatively good credit.
It's changed a lot.
So we're in a position where everybody is pretty good.
And people have equity in their homes right now. If you're even thinking about, selling your house right now, you're in a good position. If you take a look, you're getting a higher amount. Yes, interest rates are a little higher, but if you weigh your pros and cons, you're making more money and you're saving money because we're still under 10%. So
absolutely. And we had talked before about how much equity is being made year after year on just owning a home in Valencia. or in Santa Clarita or in the Santa Clarita area. There's
Just
so much
Southern
more.
California.
Exactly. There's so much equity that's being made that you're not going to be able to make anywhere else in the United States.
That's true.
So, I mean, just something to think about too. Okay, we're going to take a quick break and we will be right back. Stay with us.
Do you like to rock across Africa?
Then the wait is over.
Africa Rocks! Africa's Greatest Hits is now available at the San Diego Zoo! And who could forget 99 red baboons?
Or the African crested porcupine smash hit, I Got Quills to Pay the Bills. Hey, don't get too close.
And the hits keep on coming.
Africa Rocks has all your favorites from 6 different African habitats.
Hungry like a leopard.
Ibex is back.
Harder, better, Fossa stronger.
And a new track from Kendrick Lamar.
Now, Larry.
Yes, Chuck?
A collection of this magnitude, I'd fly to Africa.
Well, don't pack your bags, friend. Africa Rocks is only available right here at the San Diego Zoo.
Wow, that really does rock.
No, it Africa Rocks.
Welcome to Africa Rocks. Experience 6 different African habitats, including our first ever aquatic enclosure with African penguins. Only at the San Diego Zoo.
Daily Imprints is the premier one-stop shop for custom embroidery, screen printing, and promotional products in the Santa Clarita Valley. Owners Joe and Dana have provided KHTS with quality embroidered company shirts for over 3 years. If it's new business cards or promotional products you need to enhance your image, Daily Imprints is the choice for you. Located on Lyons Avenue, stop by or call today, 661-678-0508.
Hey, Kyle, what are you doing Saturday, June 30th?
Not sure.
Nowhere bound, huh?
What?
Come on, Bubba Hyde. Get it together. You're a beautiful mess.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Diamond Rio songs. You're unbelievable.
Why, thank you, Kyle. I just want to let our listeners know that we'll be hosting the Big Diamond Rio show with special guest Savannah Burrows at the Pack at COC.
Imagine that.
Look at you getting it now.
One more day.
No, dude, it's June 30th.
Be my wingman.
Oh, now you're quoting Savannah Burrows songs.
Yep.
Sweet.
Join Tori and me when we host Diamond Rio with special guest SCV's own Savannah Burrows. Saturday, June 30th, 7 p.m. at COC's Pack.
Tickets are on sale now. Go to canyonspack.com
or hometownstation.com.
Hey guys, this is Cardinellis, host of the new show Problem Solver Politics, an independent political talk show that keeps you up to date and in the know on the latest political happenings both nationally and here in the Santa Clarita Valley. Now, this isn't your usual partisan political talk show. At Problem Solver Politics, we don't rant, we don't spew talking points. We have experts from all avenues talk about specific problems and how to solve them. And if your party is in the wrong, we will tell it to your face on air every Sunday at 7 p.m.
Have you heard about Assistance League Retail Store? For a good time and a great deal and bargains that are an amazing steal, there are friendly volunteers ready to share a smile. So come on in and stay a while. We take donations on gently used goods, and proceeds from our sales stay in the neighborhood. So for a great buy and a special find, come visit our store anytime. Assistance League Resale Store located at 24369 Main Street in downtown Newhall.
And we are back at home with Charlene, here with Sam Silver from Home Smart. And Homes for Heroes is what we've been talking about today. And how we can benefit our veterans, our first responders, the reward give back program that Sam does, and how it gives back to those who give so much of themselves to our community. Again, if you are just tuning in, if you're a hero and you are a veteran and you work for any of the first responder positions,
including teachers,
you can qualify for the Homes for Hero program. So reach out to Sam with an S, samsheroes.com, and he will give you more information.
Absolutely.
He has a little tidbit he wants to share.
I got a little story, and I'll say, how we are connected, and this is like, I still remember, it put the hair back on my back of my neck. It stood up when I met this guy. I was in a rideshare car, like Uber, Lyft, or whatever, and I was getting a ride from this gentleman, and we were talking about Homes for Heroes and how excited I was about giving back and who qualified. And the guy stopped me and said, that's a great program. He says, look in the back of my car. And I said, what? Look in the back of your car. Okay. Got a portfolio out of pictures, and I'm flipping through it, and he was at ground zero. He was at ground zero when everything happened. And he's in Santa Clarita. I get in his car out of 5,000 cars out there. I get in his car. We're talking about Homes for Heroes. And he opens, I'm like dumbfounded. I'm like, oh my gosh.
And, I don't think some things just happen. I think some things are meant to happen.
That was serendipity.
And you are definitely placed in some positions at the right time. You might not see it at that point, but you're definitely placed where you need to be and where your best work's going to be done. And I think there's so many times in my life where I've looked back and thought, oh, how can I do this? How am I going to get through this? And then I thought, oh my gosh, if I would have only known what the outcome of this was going to be, it prepared me for a next phase.
It does. It absolutely
and you just
does.
don't know. You just don't know when that is going to happen. So do you keep in touch with him or?
Actually, he's a friend on Facebook. He's a friend on Facebook. I'll have to share this with him.
Yeah.
He actually has a book also. So he's it's pretty amazing.
I just think if the amount of experience that people would have experienced at that site and at that situation is just, I just can't fathom how that would be.
Have you been there?
I haven't.
Oh my gosh.
But a quick story was I traveled for a company at that point, and I was doing our sales and marketing, and my next trip was New York, and it was scheduled in my portfolio to go. And for some reason I had pulled off scheduling for that week, and I had my flight. I have it written in my little binder to this day, and I have kept it, that my travel plans was going to be for the week of 9/11. And I had postponed that
Give
trip.
me shivers.
I postponed the trip, and I just said, God, I feel like I got to, just reschedule this. It's just not going to work out for, this month. I need to postpone it for a week or two. And I wrote it back down on my calendar a little bit further. And I just think that, I don't know.
There was a reason.
I feel bad that there's so many other people who had lost their lives and loved ones that day, but for some reason I changed all my plans that I was supposed to have.
Wow.
just puts things in perspective, I guess.
It does.
I don't know.
Those couple seconds sometimes when you're running late for a reason, think about it. If you would have, sometimes I'll be in a situation, I'll be driving along and I'll see something like an accident, and you think a split second sooner, and it could have been you.
Right.
So.
And what prevented it from being you?
Yeah. What stopped it?
Did you drop your keys before you got in the car? Did something happen and you were just, and you thought, oh, I just dropped my phone. Oh my God, did I break it? Or, and that one little second just prevented you from being in something so much more catastrophic. And
That's true.
I don't know. And not that I wish that anybody else experiences that either, but it's just, I don't know.
It's kind of amazing how things happen.
We always try to wrap up our show with just some words of wisdom and some things that we like to share. And I usually send my daughter after school now that we're on break, but I always tell her, be nice and be kind. Just go through your day, be nice and be kind. You don't know what somebody else is going through. You don't know what their situation may be. And there's a lot of challenges that people face on a daily basis. And I think about these people who serve, and I think about the things that they see and all the things that they witness or become a part of. And if we all can just be nice and just be a little bit kinder, I think we'd all be in a better place.
I agree. Love each other.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I hope all of our veterans took back something from our show today. Remember to reach out to samsheroes.com. If you need to reach out to me, Charlene, my cell phone's 805-304-6004. We're here to help, and we wish you all an amazing day in summer. Thanks for tuning in.